Hey, welcome to another edition of Talking the Blues. I am Jim Derick, and joined today in studio by my good friend Todd Monjar.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Co-host, collaborator, blues maniac, and sometimes dimwit. No, I didn't say that. Or porcupine, as we call each other.
Okay, Puddinhead.
And on the other side of the microphone, or other side of the table from Todd, is my son, Mike Derick. Hi, Mike.
Hello there.
All the way from Washington, D.C.
That's right.
Down south.
Yeah.
Mike fits this show title perfectly. The name of this show is Discoveries, and I have found something about my son over the years, and that is that he loves trying new food, he loves trying new travel, and he loves sampling new music. Right, Mike?
That's right.
I mean, man, you cut your teeth. What are some of the bands you're listening to, genre non-specific these days?
Some of the bands I'm listening to, there's one guy in particular named Dermot Kennedy, who's kind of
wow,
not in the blues genre, but he's making his way across the pond.
Have you heard this guy's voice, Todd? Dermot Kennedy.
I have not. I'm like ready to write it down as a go-to.
He's great. He's an Irish artist, and he's really catching on in the U.S. Some of the other artists I've been listening to, of course, Mumford & Sons released a new album this year. They've always been one of my favorites. I've seen them live. Yeah, 3 times. Great experience.
What are they like, Mike? I have a friend that on Facebook. He went away, but then he does these band tours. And Mumford & Sons was one of them,
they started out really folksy, and they did a rock album. They're sort of Americana.
Nice.
Just fantastic band, very talented. And then so I've got a couple of others as well. But
one of the guys we're going to talk about extensively today, Mike brought to the table. Mike, you've seen him a lot. It's Gary Clark Jr.
Yes, Gary Clark Jr. My wife and I. God bless her, waited in line for like 4 hours just to get in the front row.
You married well. I can't believe that.
Yeah, and
just got
front
married.
row. Yeah, just got
pushing
married.
The envelope already.
Last year, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Gary Clark Jr., he's been on the scene for a while. He's out of Austin. He sort of came onto the blues scene pretty quickly via Eric Clapton's guitar festival that he does.
Crossroads,
yep, in Chicago. And he really gained a lot of popularity off of that. Just a really, really talented musician. He's sort of in recent years he's been sampling into different genres, a bit away from the blues, into some R&B, soul. There's even a reggae track on his new album.
Yeah, he played me some today. It's fascinating to hear. Yeah. Hey, let's not mess around. Let's go right into a track by Gary Clark Jr. What do you want to play, Mike?
Well, we'll start off. This is actually not off of the new album. This is a song called Church, off of The Story of Sonny Boy Slim. And I really, really like this song. It's almost a spiritual experience.
I'm in love with a woman who's in love with a man. I can't be it ain't me. I was taught to be patient, and I was taught to be kind, but I unwind. drunk and I'm stoned. I'm all alone. Miles from home. Lord, my Lord, I need your helping hand. Lord, my Lord, I need your helping hand. Yeah. Woke up in New York City, lying on the floor. Just outside of Mosses West 54. Wow. You gonna know my name by the end of the night. Yeah. You gonna know my name by the end of the night. Wow. Bright lights, big city going to my head. Bright lights, big city going to my head. Bright lights, big city going to my head. I don't care, no, 'cause you don't care, no. Start off with the bottle, ended up with the bottle. Taking shots, waiting on tomorrow, trying to fill up what's hollow. You gonna know my name. You gonna know my name. Bright lights, big city going to my head. Bright lights, big city going to my head. Bright lights, big city going to my head. I don't care, no, 'cause you don't care, no. house and came down somebody else. I know it ain't right, but it's all in my head. Well, I'm surprised that I'm still alive. I should be dead. Bright lights, big city calling to my head. Bright lights, big city calling to my head. Bright lights, big city calling to my head. I don't care, no, 'cause you don't care, no. Oh, you gonna know my name. Yeah, yeah, you gonna know my name. Hey, 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 you gonna know my name. Oh, you gonna know my name. Yeah, 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 hey, you gonna know my
And that was Bright Lights by Gary Clark Jr. And that's really, to me, the first song that put him on the map. And he gained a lot of popularity from there. I think that was back in 2012, 2013. But his new album, called This Land, is nominated for 4 Grammys.
Wow.
And one song that I'd like to play next in particular off the album is the title track called This Land. And the impetus for this song, I guess, and the inspiration for this song, according to Gary Clark Jr., is he grew up in Austin, Texas. He's a black musician, and he talks about some of the struggles that he had growing up in the Deep South. But what the album is about is the current issues with it that he experiences. And a neighbor had come up to him and asked him if he was the owner of his house. He's got this 50-acre ranch down in Texas, and he was with his son. And the guy was in a complete disbelief that he could be the one that owned the house. And so he talks about the not so subtle racism that still exists today. And that's sort of the inspiration for this track called This Land.
And this is a song where the language Gary Clark Jr. uses in it is on purpose and there to make a point. So we're going to play pretty much the uncensored version of this. Have a listen to it, look up the lyrics, and give it some thought.
Pissed off. Now that I got the money, 50 acres and a Model A, right in the middle of Trump country. I told you there goes a neighborhood. Now Mr. Williams ain't so funny. I see you looking out your window. Can't wait to call the police on me. When I know you think I'm up to something, I'm just eating, I was still hungry. And this is mine, not legit. I ain't leaving and you can't take it from me. I remember when you used to tell me, nigga run, go back where you come from. Nigga run, go back where you come from. We don't want your kind. We think you's a dog bomb. You, I'm America's son. This is where I come from. This land is mine. This land is mine. This land is mine. This land is mine. Up till the sun comes up. No, I can't stop grinding. And I can't let them break me. No, I can't let them find me. You can meet my friend the governor, only if you wanna try me. Or you can meet my other friend the judge, just in case you think I'm lying. When I know you think I'm up to something, I'm just eating, I was still hungry. And this is mine, mine, now legit, I ain't leaving and you can't take it from me. I remember when you used to tell me, nigga run, go back where you come from. Nigga run, go back where you come from. We don't want your kind. We think you's a dumb boy. Well, you are America's son. This is where I come from. This land is mine. This land is mine. This land is mine.
And the song you just heard is called The Guitar Man by Gary Clark Jr.
Oh, my God, Mike. You talk about discoveries. Today, Todd, you and I are learning something.
I'm going to hang out with Mike way
Right?
more than I've always wanted to hang out with Mike.
How old is he for context?
He's 35 years old.
35 years old.
What a range.
What a range. You go from church to This Land. First of all, This Land is an angry song written in the tradition, I guess you call it rap, right?
Well, yeah, it's sort of rap R&B, and then that heavy rock, guitar in there as well. So
earlier off air, we played an acoustic Dirty Dishes, and now we're listening to a guy that sounds like Al Green.
Yeah. And there's another, that song really, there's, like I said, R&B, soul. There's even a reggae song on that album. And so those last two songs you heard are both off of This Land, which is, again, nominated for 4 Grammys.
But Gary Clark Jr., to make no mistake, he is considered a blues musician.
Yes, he is. And one of the Grammys is in a blues category. The other is in a rock category. So,
Man, Todd, we got work to do, kid.
Yeah, no, it's so good. But yet, when I see the range of a musician like that, he's all over the spectrum in terms of age, and brings that. And he's got stories from a 1920s guitar front porch to 2020 Chicago anger.
Todd, I think Todd makes an essential point in that he's a bridge for your generation, isn't he?
Yeah.
Back to the blues.
Absolutely.
What a great point that is. Unintentionally, I'm sure, maybe intentionally, but he's not trying to be a historian. He's simply telling his story as it's relevant today and linking it back to the historical framework of the blues. And what a wonderful way to do that and to capture so many different audiences. So if you went there based on the last song we just heard and said, I'm going to go see a soul singer, Gary Clark Jr., you're going to get exposed to a whole heck of a lot more, including the blues, So it's kind of neat. Mike, you've seen him a half dozen times or so?
I've seen him 3 times now.
3 times. Okay.
3 times.
How's his stage performance?
Oh, he's incredible.
Yeah.
One of the things that you could kind of hear on some of those tracks is that there are a few songs that he sings exclusively in a falsetto. So you realize how powerful his voice really is. One of the ones that's getting a lot of airplay now that you'll hear on the radio is called Pearl Cadillac. That's off the new album, and he sings that all in a falsetto, which is really impressive.
Oh, man. We got to both thank you for that. That's a Talking the Blues lesson, free of charge from Mike Derick.
Yeah.
I assume it's free. Maybe lunch is going to get thrown in. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm starving.
Yeah. So, Totto, hey, do you have any new discoveries or anything you've discovered recently?
Yeah, so that's when I get into this, let's put a show together, I go off and go play a song and then go to radio and find somebody.
Right.
But I listened to the interview we had on a different show about Mike Zito, and there was some new Diana Rain, Tony Campanella.
Yes.
I've heard Sonny Landreth before, but Tommy Castro, we came up with a Tommy Castro. Neither of us have heard.
No.
Just new music that it's the beauty of sitting here in this room. And Mike, thanks for you and I will have to share some libraries because I like what you feel.
Yeah,
absolutely.
How about if we start out with Tony Campanella and Good Morning Little Schoolgirl.
Good morning, little schoolgirl. Can I come home with you? Good morning, little schoolgirl. Can I come home with you? Tell your mama and your papa, well, I'm a little schoolboy too. I love you, baby, I just can't help myself. You're so good looking, fine woman, you belong to somebody else. Good morning, little schoolgirl. Can I come home with you? Tell your mama and your papa, well, I'm a little schoolboy too. School girl, can I come home with you? Good morning, little school girl, can I come home with you? Tell your mama and your papa, well, I'm a little schoolboy too.
So Todd, not a new artist to us, but certainly a new discovery was this song by Tommy Castro that you brought to the table.
It's so good. I missed Tommy Castro at Hunter Mountain because he played the next morning, and I never heard Tommy Castro live. But I was looking around, and sure enough, I found this song. I'd never heard it before, and I love the horns and I love the sound of the band.
Yeah, it's Tommy Castro and the Painkillers right now is his band. He is a native of the California area. I think it's San Francisco. Not a newcomer. He's been around for years and years and years. Recently did a 6 strings down tour with Mike Zito down at the New England Blues Summit a couple of years ago. What a show that was. So here is Tommy Castro and the Painkillers with It's That Time Again.
I open up my eyes, I'm just about to think. Funny how time flies when I'm fast asleep. I'll say to myself, I better get up out of bed. Oh yes. As I start to make the coffee, I remember what you said. I wonder why it is every now and then, ready or not, it's that time again. Yeah, yes, it's that time again. One thing I know for certain, there's no way to know for sure. still looking for answers and opening up doors. And one thing that never changes, oh no, is things about to change, yeah. And I don't think it's that or good, no, no. I just think it's kind of strange. That sure is dead wet, standing in the rain. Oh Lord, there's nothing to regret. It's that time again. Oh yeah, it's that time again. Yeah, yeah.
Was written in one night. Who filled it up with empty pages? Said what's wrong and right. So many have wagered on the lottery of life. They opened up their hearts just to be cut down like a knife. When the hurt of love is so strong, you can't escape the pain. Just call out for the doctor, and the doctor break the chain. The bonds that have held you, oh, they got you wrapped up tight. Now broken by his magic, the doctor gets you through the night. Call the soul doctor, he's always on the line. Call the soul doctor, he'll save you every time. From a self-inflicted crime, the situation giving you everything but time. It's looking pretty hopeless, ain't no love to be found. Just reach out for the doctor, and the doctor comes around. All the soul doctor, he's
We also heard Soul Doctor by Jimmy Carpenter. Jimmy Carpenter of Gulf Coast Records, Mike Zito's label, also formerly of The Wheel, Mike Zito and The Wheel. Hey, I was just digging around the other day doing what you do, Todd, for the show, and I hit a shuffle, and up comes this group, Delta Moon, out of Atlanta, Georgia. And it's one of those things, I know what you mean. You stop in your tracks, you say, wait a minute, what is that? And so it made me want to get more. And I listened, and I downloaded a couple of their records. What an interesting group.
You played a little bit before. Please play some more.
Right, exactly. Well, Delta Moon is a band that won the 2003 International Blues Challenge. They have had several, their music's been used all over the Food Network, and you can see why. It's a real Delta swampy blues. So let's hear the Delta Moon with Clear Blue Flame.
With a clear blue flame.
Sometimes I can't stand the time, wanna dream it all away. The moment's mine, but I can't put it into place. Curious, how you feeling today? At least we dance, then rather not dance at all. Thoughts unspoken and words run dry. Can you help me overpass everything by? I pass everything by. Circumstance casts a certain light, makes you realize how and where and when to take flight. On a different plane, where things come into view, makes you understand what lies beyond you. Thoughts unspoken and words run dry. Can you help me overpass everything by?
Man, and that last song was Nicholas David. He opened for Samantha Fish, and I was just telling you guys that I rarely get stopped in your tracks with an opener. Everyone's talking, mulling about the Sinclair in Cambridge, getting drinks. Oh, great, we got to wait another hour for Samantha. And this guy comes out, opens his mouth on the first note. The place stopped, turned around, and looked at this guy. First of all, visually, he looks like a grizzly bear, right, Mike?
Yeah.
I mean, or Dr. John.
Yeah.
This guy won The Voice, was in third place on The Voice in 2012. He's only 38 years old, and man, what a range he has.
Yeah, it was really, really impressive to hear him play. His voice is so unique. That's exactly it. Everyone just sort of stopped and kind of just paid attention right away as soon as he opened his mouth.
What makes me wonder sometimes is how these guys go under the radar like this. We reward people in the arts for relatively modest talent compared to some of these artists that we play often on this program. Do you find that true in the art world in general, Todd? Because I know you're a painter and a photographer.
Yes. It's interesting that you were saying about under the radar, which I kind of look at it like the opposite, which is without the way things are in this world now, I wouldn't have never heard of these people. And so now it's like I am going to start listening to this guy's music. But yeah, there's there is a bit of that in the art world, a lot of it probably, but what the important part about it is, because we're all artists and these people are like truly artists expressing themselves, is that I lost my train, but I'm going to get it. It doesn't matter because we're just creating art, and that's all that's important. And when it's true, when people are telling stories about their own lives and related to other people's lives, it doesn't matter. And when that happens, I just can't get enough.
Yeah, I think you make a great point. Yeah. I don't think any of these guys are necessarily playing just for the dollar, but I think it's my rejection of the popular culture, if you will, of what's popular has never really been enough for me.
Right. But I think though part of this, right, in this genre is artists recognizing other artists and their talent,
yes.
right? Mike Zito with Samantha Fish, he produced her first few records. Samantha Fish just produced Nicholas David's record down in New Orleans. And I think that's just a really cool way of introducing folks to this type of music.
It's just the chain that we live, right? Someone helped you, you helped me, I got to help somebody.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're all sitting here talking off the air while that song was playing, and we came up with a consensus. Samantha Fish, for us, at least for me, and certainly for Mike, is a new discovery. And the reason I'm concluding her is that as she has really reinvented herself in a cool way. Her career's taken off, and the show that I just saw was nothing like the shows I've seen in the past, and they were good. They were good, but this one was incredible. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, no, I would totally agree with that. I think she's really stepped it up. Not that she needed to, but it's really impressive to watch.
Isn't it though? And her songwriting's taken off, and her voice, as you said, she gets into a slow song live, and man, you hear the range in that voice, and it'll raise the hair on the back of your neck.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You have yet to see Samantha, is that right?
I've yet to see her. I've, of course, seen her on YouTube. I've heard her. I've heard people besides us rave about her.
Right.
And I really need to see her live.
Yeah, we got to make that happen.
So I'm going to play a song off of her 2017 release, Belle of the West. This is Gone for Good.
Did everything you wanted me to.
Mike, what do you have from Samantha?
So I've got off the new album a song called American Dream. And in my opinion, this is one that I think should be all over the radio waves. It's a catchy tune, and it is just a great song.
I couldn't agree more. So here is Samantha Fish with American Dream. I want to thank everybody for listening to Talking the Blues. For Mike Derick and Todd Monjar, I'm Jim Derick. We'll see you next week.
Is a country